or restrictions created by that. Because Article 28, Clause 1 says no religious education, etc., in the government aided, fully government aided institutions.
Yes. But that's going to be, yes, but that's why there is an amendment.
And that's why I flagged when you referred to the deletion made by 1951 amendment in terms of, that is really in terms of clause 3 of Article 28.
Yes, it says so.
Because it gives an option to
voluntarily you can't be compelled.
Voluntarily, compulsorily
you can't be compelled. You can voluntarily have that. Lord, then ordinances, my lord, page 90 at the foot. As I said, my lord, first ordinances are framed by the framed as directed by Governor General in Council, etc. My lord, I have read, my lord. Please, my lord, come to page 91, section 12. Your lordship gets, my lord? I'm sorry, my lord.
Even amendment gave one.
Page 91, section 12.
Page 91.
Section 12.
Section 12.
The university shall, subject to the statutes, have power to establish and maintain intermediate colleges and schools within such limits in the Aligarh district as may be laid down in the ordinances for the purpose of preparing students for admission to the university, and may provide for instruction in Muslim religion and theology in any of such colleges and schools, with the approval of the Academic Council and the sanction of the Governor General in Council on recommendation of the visiting board, the subject to such conditions as may be prescribed by the statute and the ordinances, the university may admit intermediate colleges, etc. The purpose is that decision making is not in the hands of a body having Muslim majority. My lord, administration is not, my lord, a peon is also a part of the administration, a clerk is also a part of the administration, but when we are talking of an institution like university, administration is the body which administers the university. The rest of the people would do their part assigned to them as decided by the administering body. Lord, otherwise,
the reason I asked that question was prior to 1947, the British government could have established the institution and also, formulated the role of the people, but given the administration to the Muslims or the Hindus.
My lord, because of a request which I read that I don't insist, you don't want to make it, but please, you have respected local sentiments in Hindus, respect local sentiments of Muslims, not with an intention to make it a minority institution. Therefore, my lord, I read that inclusion of Muslims, which is also, my lord, deleted subsequently, I'll show that. But right now I am on 20 Act as it stood on 20. That was also, my lord, with a review to respect the sentiments, not with an intention of conferring any status. Banaras Hindu University had the court having Hindus. So it was more, my lord, out of a gesture of goodwill rather than, my lord, conferring any enforceable right on the institution. So then section 13. The Governor General shall be the Lord Rector of the university. The Lord Rector shall have the right to cause an inspection to be made by such person or persons as he may direct of the university, its buildings, laboratories and equipment, and of any institution maintained by the university, and also of the examinations, teaching and other work, etc., etc. My lord, everything is conferred upon the Lord Rector, but please see subsection 5. where the court does not, within reasonable time, take action to the satisfaction of Lord Rector, now, my lord, it is governor, the Lord Rector may, after considering any explanation furnished or representation made by the court, issue such directions as he may think fit, and the court shall comply with such directions. Complete predominant supervening powers conferred upon the governor, because it has always been the desire and stated wish of the Britishers that we will have effective government control. You accept it or you do not accept it. And this is where the government control is accepted, my lord, reflected. Then, my lord, annual accounts will also be, my lord, placed before the visiting board and Lord Rector, my lord, non-Muslim bodies, and to be published in Gazette of India. Then, my lord, last is section 40, power to remove difficulties. If any difficulty arises with respect to the establishment of the university or any authority of the university, or in connection with the first meeting of any authority of the university, the Governor General in Council may, by order, make any appointment or do anything which appears to him necessary or expedient for the proper establishment of the university or any authority thereof, or for the first meeting of any authority or university. Any such order may modify the provisions of this act and the statute so far as so and so, so and so. Now, your lordships, my lord, kindly come to page 139, the act, my lord, and some provisions which are not quoted here.
139.
139. No, again, it's an act, printed act. They do not say that we merge or we recognize your existence and convert you into the university. There are two types of legislations. Please, my lord, bear one fact in mind, and this is, my lord, going to the root of the question when your lordship ultimately decides the issue. Some legislations can be legislations which recognizes an existing fact. I'll show, my lord, those. There are some universities where such things have happened. And some legislations which in law establishes or incorporates something new. A new entity comes into being. A new entity is born. This is a legislation where it's not recognizing anything. It establishes and incorporates a new entity. And this judgment in Basha is only 1920 Act specific. It does not lay down a law of universal application, that once you are incorporated, you are not a minority institution. I'll also show, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Other side reads Basha to mean that if you are incorporated as an university, from date of incorporation, your minority status goes. That's not what Basha holds. Basha merely examines at 1920 Act and says that you are not the university which is minority university. I will show examples post-constitution also. Minority universities can be incorporated. How? That I'll show. Please see, my lord, the preamble. Whereas it is expedient to establish and incorporate a teaching and residential Muslim university at Aligarh. So the purpose is to establish and incorporate. By whom? Lord, by the legislature. Not only a new body is born, the earlier body goes by operation of law. It merges, it dies. You are not. It is dissolved, my lord. The correct word is not merger, it's dissolved into this new entity. It dies, my lord. So, new body takes birth by operation of law. It is established by operation of law, incorporated by operation of law, and this is what it says. Whereas it is expedient to establish and incorporate a teaching and residential Muslim university at Aligarh and to dissolve the society registered under the Societies Registration Act, because there cannot be two statutory bodies simultaneously. Therefore, one is born, another gets dissolved, it dies. Then your lordships, my lord, kindly come to section 4. I'm sorry, my lord, page 140. Section 4. Your lordships are on section 4, my lords.
Yeah.
I'm grateful, my lord. The society is known as Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental College, Aligarh, and the Muslim University Association shall be dissolved, and all properties, movable and immovable, and all rights, powers, and privileges of the said societies, and all property, movable and immovable, and all rights, powers, and privileges of the Muslim University Foundation Committee shall be transferred to and vest in the university. And please mark this, my lord, this is relevant, and shall be applied to the objects and purposes for which the university is incorporated, not for the objects and purposes of either MAO or other institutes, which gets dissolved, which dies, and the new body takes, my lord, birth. Now, your lordships, my lord, kindly come to page 140.
Just stopping here for a minute.
Yes, my lord.
NAO College
Yes.
and Muslim University Association, as per your argument, even they may be a minority institution in terms of Article 30, but after they got dissolved into it, they cease to be that character will not be relevant.
No, my lord, I would put it slightly differently. My lord, they had a denominational character. There was no Article 30.
No, I know, but if we apply Article 30
Yeah,
to
yes.
them, if we
They
apply
may have denominational character, but in view of the peculiar historical facts which Basha notes, once you agree to the terms and conditions of the government, and Parliament by an act of legislature dissolves your existence and gives birth to a new body, the earlier one goes.
first, this is your first. In fact, the first one was earlier. They agreed to give up certain rights, and therefore, and the second was the incorporation or the establishment.
Surrender the rights. That's how. That's the ratio of Basha.
But as far as MAO is concerned and Muslim University Association is concerned, they were distinctly a minority in case we applied Article 30.
May have been, may have been. But they could have, my lord, I'm answering it straight. They could have continued even if they were minority institutions, as minority institutions, the way St. Stephen continued, the way, my lord, Jamia continued, the way many other, my lord, linguistic establishments continued. There were many linguistic, my lord, not establishment, institutions which were, my lord, continuing, and their degrees were more valuable. My lord, this Roorkee may not have been, my lord, a minority institution, but there were minority institutions. St. Stephen is the best example.